I started talking and it was still swirling. So if you got half of a good morning, it's all good. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I am going to try and get comments back on my phone because it's just kind of gone nuts again lately and not letting us see comments online. So I have them down here right below. If you see me looking down, I have some fun things that I want you to. Good morning, Dawn. How are you today? So a couple of odd things. I have had the weirdest stuff going on health wise lately. Like I said, I had a tooth fall apart, and so I'm in a dental process right now, and I'm trying to go back to contacts. And here's two reasons contacts. When I wore them for kind of just got away from them as I went into bifocals. It's really hard to see bifocals. Hi, Chris. How are you doing, Dawn? My jaw hurts. It's just going to hurt because I can only chew on my left side until this is done on April 5th. So just assume it hurts. But what's it called? So anyhow, can you see the discoloration on my eyes? I've been having allergic reactions to contact lenses. And so my doctor's, she's awesome. She's working and she's like, I back up. Two reasons I want to get back into contacts. One, my husband likes it, although my glasses, really hard to even tell I have glasses most of the time. Two, it's not hard to tell I have glasses when I'm worried about a glare and I'm on camera. And when I'm doing the lives, when I'm teaching the courses, hi Cami, how are you? When I'm doing the lives, when I'm teaching the courses, it's just a constant glare. So I'm trying, but I can't read without them. So I'm trying to shift. So anyhow, humorous story. If this just gets darker and darker as we're talking, I don't have a black eye. I looked like I had a black eye the other day. I don't have a black eye. Spirits, nothing hurts. Just an allergic reaction that I'm trying to work through and find the right thing. She's like, we've got hundreds to try. Because I was like, oh, forget it. I'll just wear glasses for the rest of my life. She's like, no, don't give up yet. We got hundreds to try. So as we pace through this, you may have some weird eye things going on to go with my weird tooth thing going on, right? When it happens, right? Nothing. Like last year, I had the flu, I had COVID, and then I didn't have anything any other time. So, and I haven't been sick since COVID. So we're just balancing through that. So bear with me. Okay, fun question for today. And it actually does relate back into our topic of habits. But I want to know some of your hobbies. We've asked this question before. We've talked about it numerous times. There's new people in here. So as I'm gauging and stuff like that, I want to know some of your hobbies. And I'm going to kind of clarify. So this is a hobby. This is what I'm talking about as a hobby. As plenty of descriptions. This is what I'm talking about. So hobby for me is something I enjoy doing just for the sake of enjoying doing it. There doesn't have to necessarily be an end purpose. It's just a task I enjoy doing. So I came up with 3 hobbies, and then I came up with 2 things that for someone else might be a hobby, but there's actually a reason I'm doing it, so I don't consider it a hobby. So, for example, my 3 hobbies. And I want you to throw hobbies in the comments, although you probably want to wait until I kind of get there. And again, we're going to tie this back around at the end. So my 3 hobbies: writing, huge hobby of mine. I love writing. I don't do it nearly as much as I want to, right? But that's part of it being a hobby. We don't get to it as much as we want to. Second thing, scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking. I have a particular project that I'm working on. It does kind of have an end purpose, but it's for me. It's not for other people and stuff like that. I always fix my clothes the wrong way because it's mirror image. And sewing. I love sewing. I love making my grand. Something I haven't done. Ezekiel's probably not going to fit in the one thing that I've already cut out for him, so we're going to have to move that into the next size because he is a beast and growing like crazy. He's 10 weeks now, well over 16 pounds. So anyhow, those are my 3 hobbies. Now, here are 2 other tasks that I do that somebody else would consider a hobby, but for me, I don't consider it a hobby. So the first one, I mentioned my little seed stuff. Got some good old seeds going up here. Got some onions. I've never done onions before. Got some peas. Peppers haven't popped yet. But I don't consider gardening a hobby because we use it for sustaining, right? To to feed ourselves, to grow ourselves. And while for some people that is a hobby, for me, I'm doing it for a very specific purpose and value. I wouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it. I love doing it, but it's not something I would do for the sake of doing it. The other thing that for me is not quite a hobby, but for someone else, and I know people in here, knitting. And it's because I don't have a particular end in mind. I'm knitting because it's something to do with my hands. I don't sit very well. I don't just stop. But I can't, like, reading would be another hobby. I can't, when my husband and I are sitting together, he's doing things, he's talking. My husband talks a lot, but he's talking and stuff like that. So I can't be doing, requires a bit of concentration. Knitting definitely requires concentration for some people. So for me, it's just a simple task. It's just busyness with my hands while I'm there and being available and engaging with my husband. So those are my examples of breaking apart, like, hobbies and then things you do for a very specific purpose that you might not do otherwise. So throw some hobbies in the comments. That's what I want to see. And dig into there. Okay. So while you're doing that, let me remind you, if you did not watch yesterday's live and you're here today, go comment replay and watch yesterday's live, because if you watch both lives, you get a freebie today. And I'm going to talk about that at the end of the day, and that freebie will be at the end of the live, and that freebie will be delivered into your DM by end of day today. Okay. So let's get into habits, because that's what we're here to talk about, right? That's what I told you we were going to talk about today. So let's get into habits. Okay. So as the first part of talking about habits, we talked yesterday about nurturing habits, right? Either starting new habits, nurturing habits that are kind of in place, maybe that are lacking a little bit, or just making something stronger. And that was where I wanted to focus yesterday. What are some of the good habits you want to nurture, or you might want to start? Throw those in the comments. Since you put it that way, I don't have any hobbies. Okay, Dawn, something to think about. Something that you do that just chills. I love it. Chris has got crosswords, baking, fishing, just for fun hobbies. I love that. I love that. Oh, baking. Now you got me into the baking thinking, Chris. But then again, like all of our breads and stuff, we do it for health purposes. I cannot say that I would have just started it. Beading, reading, and wanting to paint, but haven't except one. I love that, Cammie. Good, 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 good. Music, 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 music. Excellent. I love this, guys. So you guys are digging in. Okay. So let's talk about negating habits. Remember to throw your habits you want to nurture into the comments. And today we're going to dig in and talk about negating habits, okay? Get myself back where my notes were. Okay. Well, first, when you talk about wanting to negate some habits, the first thing you kind of have to do is take a little time to evaluate. I think list making here is a great plan. It's a great start. And here are some questions to ask as you're thinking about habits that you might want to get rid of. Okay, so starting questions. What do you wish, what do you do that you wish you didn't do? Like, what do you do that bothers you? What do you do that you know is not good for you or your health? What do you do that bothers or hurts loved ones that you regret? Things like that. So thinking through this list, we're going to really kind of pick it apart. But that's a good set of questions to ask to really think about your habits. Now, I have a weird habit. I'm 50 years old. I have a couple of weird habits. Let me just get that straight. This one is not one that disturbs anybody. It's not one that I'm going to put any effort into stopping. I twirl my hair. Like, I will, when it's down, like and over here, I will just there. When I have naturally curly hair, it twirls really easily. And that's what I'll do. I'll just sit there and twirl my hair. But it's something I do when I'm concentrating. It's something that I do, what's it called, kind of working on something and thinking. And it doesn't really bother anybody. Like, my husband teases me about it, but, you know, not in a negative way. A couple of friends' husbands that I've worked with in church ministry and stuff, they'll mock me about it. But again, not in, they're just like, really? Here again, you know, things like that. But it's not something that bothers anybody. It doesn't bother me. I don't even know I'm doing it. So that's not something I would put into this category, but it's a habit. It's a subconscious one, right? A lot of our habits are subconscious, particularly the ones we want to negate. A lot of them are subconscious. So as I think through this list, for me, I'm going to make this pretty simple for you guys and lay things out a little bit. Welcome, Angela. I'm glad that you're here today. Fellowship with others, games, reading, love it. Watch too much TV, or at least it always seems to be on. Praise and worship. Okay, guys, I'm still loving that I'm seeing comments today. Like they cut off yesterday when I said hi to Dawn. No more comments. So, which is why I pulled my phone up that I obviously don't need. Okay, so I mentioned yesterday I bite my nails. Okay, pretty ugly set of nails there. It bugs the heck out of me. I mean, I've stopped it and restarted it so many times over the years. It really bothers me. Does it bother anybody else around me? I don't know. My husband's never really mentioned it. My kids couldn't care less. So I don't really know that it bothers people, but it bothers me. So that's a habit, right, over the years that I've loved to shake. Another one, this is kind of a newer habit, thanks to COVID and Callie being home for, 6 months unexpectedly. A Chick-fil-A run for some unsweet tea. I have so much tea here. I'm going to give you guys a little swing around. You can see the top of the freezer over there. There are at least 20 jars of tea leaves. I love tea. What the heck do I need to go to Chick-fil-A to get some unsweet tea? Right? Boil water, add ice cubes. I have unsweet tea. It's laziness, right? It's a habit that I do want to break. And why spend it, right? I already have so much of it there. Another habit, cracking my knuckles. I'm a big knuckle cracker. It used to drive my foster mom nuts. Absolutely nuts. But she's dead. I say that not so unkindly. She's been gone for over 20 years now. Gone a long time. I loved her dearly. But yeah, we would all crack our knuckles and she would like hit us and stuff like that. But it doesn't drive anybody else nuts. So, it is what it is. My knuckles are already as large as they're going to get, right? So here's a big one. And tell me if this is you guys. I miss Chick-fil-A. Thankfully, ours is shut down for remodeling. That's been a little bit of a help because the other ones are, like an extra 2 miles away. But anyway, and Callie not being home has been huge. So I think I'm just going to kind of hold on to that one until she's home and then married, because I won't have any reason to go. Anyhow, here's a big one, a big habit. And tell me if you have this habit. I know most of you do. Saying I'm fine when I'm not. That's a bad habit. That's a bad habit. Tell me if that's yours. Saying I'm fine when I'm not. Okay? So thinking through your list, right? And just put a smiley face if you have that habit, saying I'm fine when I'm not. I just want to see a smiley face. A winky face, any of the above is just fine. Just acknowledge it. Let's be real. Most women have that habit, right? It's a lot to break it. I'm working through, there's a particular woman in the Intentionally Doing program, the 12-month membership program, where we're doing courses every single month. And just so you know, I'm going to start to sell those courses individually. Of course, the better plan is being in the program, but you'll see those start rolling out in the next 2 weeks. But anyhow, so with this particular person I'm working with, that was a challenge. I challenged her to not say I'm fine. And you know what? I said, I'm going to take that challenge on myself. That was hard. That was hard. I'm still working through it, as is she, but I'm still working through it. To not say I'm fine when I'm not, that's huge. And that is a bad, bad habit. Yeah, I see a yes over here. A smiley face, me, 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 me. Great program. Thank you, Chris. I love this program. And I'll talk about it at the end for a few minutes if you want to know more about the program when we get there. Because in June, the price hikes up. Like it doubles in June. So I'll talk about that at the end. So, okay. Let's get back to negating habits. That's what we're here for. So it might take a minute to get started on this type of a list. But I bet when you get started, the ideas will just come rolling at you. Like I just gave you what, 5, it looks like 4 or 5 things of my habits. Do you really think that's it? I mean, seriously, do you really think that's it? No, I can come up with many. Right? I say that. I try not to say that. I mean, let's be real. We can come up with a lot of things, but that's when you start to get rolling a little bit. Oops, my condenser there. So that's when you start to get rolling a little bit. And that's what we're going to work on. We're going to start to talk about this. All right. So once you get started, it'll take a second, and then all of a sudden, it'll just start to roll off of you, and you'll be having a lot more than you thought you had. All right. Good luck. Keep doing it. Keep working at it. It's good. It's really where you want to be. So when you want to change, and the answer is to do it all at once and just completely stop and change, right? That's kind of like where you come to, you're like, oh, look at it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm just never going to do that again. Okay, that's not quite right. Not chewing on ice, yeah, saying I'm not, and people not believing or wanting to dig deeper or feeling uncomfortable with the truth. Wholeheartedly, Angela, wholeheartedly. Okay, so you want to change. The answer is, you want to just magically be changed. It's work, guys. It takes work to change anything, right? It's hard. It's commitment. It's discipline. It's laborious. It just takes work. Okay. Now, in this, the next thing I'm going to tell you is this, plain and simple. You have to make a plan. I know you're all like, oh my gosh, Michelle and the plans. We talked about plans yesterday. If you want to start a habit, right? Have a plan and then just do it. Guess what? You want to stop a habit? You have to make a plan. You can't just magically snap your fingers. I have yet to meet anybody who can magically snap their fingers, problem solved. Okay. You have a plan and it takes work. So here's my next question. How long is your list? How long is your list of, habits that you made when you answered those questions above? All right. Maybe work on one item at a time. No more than 3. Okay. Some people are ambitious and they want to attack the whole list at the same time. I recommend one item at a time, but, depending on who you are and your discipline level, you can get up to 3 items. Okay. We just don't have the focus beyond that to actually commit to everything. So my recommendation is always one at a time. The next part of the plan is this, and I'm not going to say what I've said in the past, okay? The next part of the plan, are you a cold turkey kind of gal or step by step, a little at a time? Okay, if you were on a live probably about 5 months ago, I was talking about habits, and I asked if you're someone who weans off of habits, and as I was talking, reading the notes that I wrote, I called myself a wiener. Because that's what I do. I wean things. I do not just stop. Of course, I realized how that sounded after I said it to you live on camera. It's all good. But that's me. I wean things. Many steps with an end step in mind, right? When I stop biting my nails, I start with my pinky nails. And for a week, I don't bite those nails. And then I move to my ring fingers until I get to the thumbs, right? And that works, right? Until something crazy happens in my life and I'm stressed and then I'm at my nails. Okay. Chick-fil-A, and getting an unsweet tea runs, it's a lot easier to do when my sweet girl is not around and when they're remodeling. But the truth of the matter is, I only started it because it became a Callie and I thing in the mornings. So I think when she's off and married and she lives an hour away, it'll be easy to stop that and easy to just kind of drop that habit, maybe do it once a week or something like that if, I have this urging. But that one will probably be easier to break, right? And as you think through these lists, put an action to it, right? And here's the thing. If you slip, so be it. So be it. No one is going to die. The world is not going to end because you slipped. And you know what? You just start the clock over and here you have a day 1 again. It's okay. It's okay. And that's stuff we have a hard time getting over. We think we put the weight of failure on ourselves. Stop. Just start again. That's it. It really is that simple. But we have to come to that place of doing that. So don't give up, right? Don't give up because it feels hard. Don't give up because, ooh, I slipped. Oh man, I'm never going to be able to do this. No, you can. You can. A slip is a slip. Big deal. Get up, start over, choose again. Okay? Chris, rip the Band-Aid off cold. I know that that's you. That is you. It's just stop it and be done with it. I cannot. My oldest daughter, sweet tea is her fix right this second since she got pregnant, and she's really, really, really trying hard to kind of stop the sweet tea. So yesterday we had an impromptu meet. She lives about an hour away. Impromptu meet up for lunch later in the day. It was kind of late lunch, early dinner. And with the grandbabies, who's going to say no to that, right? So we met up. Well, I wouldn't say halfway. She came further my way than I went her way because she had a store she wanted to go to specifically. And I said to her, I said, honey, I know that this is something that you really want to stop drinking. I said, but I said, if it's really hard for you, why don't you just get a half and half? Get half sweet, half unsweet. I said, and just kind of come to that place where you're cutting that sweet out, and that part of it. She's like, that's okay, Mom. I just stopped it. I'm not doing it anymore. She's like, I just will get water. I'm like, okay, good for you. I would have to do the half and half, and maybe just for a week or two, and then be like, okay, I'm done with the sweetness. So I mean, we're all different, right? We're all wired. Chris just said she's a rip the Band-Aid off. We are all different, and guess what? It's okay, right? How it works for you doesn't have to be how it works for me. The point is, work it. That's the point. Okay, so who's ready for the challenge? All right, here's my challenge. I want you to think about those questions. Let me go back to those questions real fast so you can go back towards the end of the video. These are the questions. What do you do that you wish you didn't? What do you do that bothers you? What do you do that you know is not good for your health? And what do you do that bothers, hurts other loved ones? Okay, so as we're got to come back to my challenge. That's the question, okay? Are you ready to negate some of your bad habits? Cami, another one, all or nothing. Very good, very, very good. Are you ready to negate some of your bad habits? Okay, this challenge is for one challenge at a time. You may make this list and you may be like, oh, there's like 7 things I want to stop doing, working on 3 of them at a time, but only pick one for this challenge, okay? And go ahead and put challenge in the comment if you're going to do this. It's okay. So, you're welcome to do more, but we're going to pick one for this challenge that applies specifically to this. You do not have to share in the comments if you don't want to. Like, you can just say challenge and not share what it is. You can say challenge, you can share what it is. If you want to send me a direct message and say, yes, I'm in for the challenge, and this is the habit I'm going to try to break. I'm telling you guys right up, for me, it's my nails. I got a wedding in like 8 weeks. I can't even believe it's only 8 weeks, because let me tell you, we are nowhere near ready for 8 weeks. And all of the dresses for the bridesmaids and the mother of the bride dress are due to be delivered like May 4th for the bridesmaids dresses, May 11th for the mother of the bride dress, for the wedding that's on May 15th. So we're all a little kind of anxious. But anyhow, so for me, I want to stop biting my nails again. Okay? I want this to be done. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I want the nails to be done. All right, so this is a 30-day challenge. All right, this is what we're gonna do. Everybody who's watched both lives this week, remember we were short one, we didn't do a live on Tuesday. Everybody who's watched both lives this week, okay, you are gonna get a blank habit tracker in your email. Your direct message is going to be right here through Facebook. You're going to get a blank habit tracker. And with that habit tracker, what you're going to do, okay, there's going to be a section. It's going to be 3 sections. It's going to be out for 30 days, okay? Actually, I'm going to do it for 31 days, so you can use this anytime you want to for anything, not just for our challenge, but remember our challenge is 30 days. So there's going to be 3 sections to this habit tracker. The first section is going to be habits that you are already doing and like you kind of want to do. The next section is going to be a section that says habits you'd like to start. And the third section is going to be habits you'd like to end, okay? And there's going to be 30 places for you to check mark. Check, 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 right? Every single day you get through either, doing the habit, not doing the habit, whatever. Now remember, the challenge that we're connecting with is not doing the habit. Okay, but this is for you to use in all of your life. So I am going to be checking in on you that have told me you're going to do the challenge. Okay, not to be obnoxious, because who doesn't want somebody to check in on them, right? Sometimes we say we don't want somebody to check in on us, but we totally do, right? We really do. We want someone to ask, hey, how is it going? Even if it's not going well. Okay, so I'm going to check in on you. You can feel free to check in on me. What did I say? My nails, right? Stop biting. So this week, these pinky nails, no biting these pinky nails. Okay, and that's what you're going to get. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and take you into another segue, as Chris mentioned, challenge, doing something. Okay, doing something productive daily at home. I love that, Cami. I absolutely love that. That's fantastic. Somebody was commenting, it was Patty. You can go back and read yesterday's comments on yesterday's video. She was saying one of her habits is every time she walks into a room, she does something and she makes that a particular habit. I think that was fantastic. I said that. I said, love that. I think that's awesome. Challenge, fantastic. You ladies will be getting um, the tracker in your DM by end of day today. So, okay. I want to tell you about the doing program. Is that okay? Is it okay if I tell you about the doing program? And Chris, who is a member of the doing program, she can elaborate more if she will. And she shared a little bit yesterday and commented again today about how she appreciates the program. So this is what the doing program is. It is 12 months, 13 mini courses. Okay. Every single course is designed to be 4 weeks, right? A month long. And every single course is talking about how to be intentional in your life. So the bonus of that, we've got 12 courses with a 13th, that's a bonus, which is actually where you start, because without this, the rest of it is hard to fall in place. So the very first course is how to be intentional with your faith. Okay. The second course, how to be with your mindset. The third course, how to be intentional with your physical well-being, your health, your physical health, and so on. So we have 12 courses in addition to how to be intentional with your faith. The program, like I said, is a 12-month program. You get access to connect with me and work together on some things. Some of it is in group live. Some of it is one-on-one, depending upon when you signed up for the program. Okay, currently for the entire year, it's $497 for 13 courses. Okay. If you prefer to pay paid in full, that's the best benefit. If you'd like to break it into monthly payments, it's $49.97 for 12 monthly payments. Okay, and it starts from when you start and goes, 12 months forward. Okay, in June 1, that hikes up to $997. So if you are looking to get into this program, don't hesitate, because it's going up in June. The details and the practices that we go through this program are absolutely intense. Currently, the women in the program are in the third course, how to be intentional with your physical well-being. And the comments that I've been receiving as reminders as to what they should be doing have been amazing. They'll be doing lesson 3 this coming week, which is on exercise. And it's not like, here's a weight loss plan or a weight training plan. That's not the type of exercise we're talking about. We're talking about just doing and being active. So it's a fantastic program. Gosh, how to be intentional with your faith alone is amazing. So these programs will be coming out. Like I said, each course will sell individually. How to be intentional with your mindset will be available at the end of the month for $97 by itself. So as you're working through these, you do have access for the individual courses. They will come out shortly, one at a time over the next 12 months. But of course, if you're digging into the course as a whole, you're part of a community and much better program for you. So that's the Intentionally Doing program. If you'd like to talk to me about that, I would love to set up a Zoom call so that we can talk about that. You can just put doing in the comments and I will get with you, or you can send me a direct message and we will set up a time where we could just talk about that and talk about what you could see getting out of that program for you and asking questions. Okay. I hope you guys, it's Thursday. All right. It's Thursday. So for us, it's the beginning of the weekend. We'll be back here together again on Tuesday. I hope it's gorgeous here. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Remember, Saturday night, set your clocks forward. We lose an hour of sleep Saturday night into Sunday. Honestly, I don't know how many of you still have clocks. You have to, it's the stove, the coffee pot, and my car. Those are the 3 clocks. Everything else, is all electronic and done by, the cyber world and stuff like that. All right. So going forward, next week we will meet at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time instead of Eastern Standard Time. Nobody recognizes that you actually changed that because it's daylight savings time, so everything will still say EST. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will be in touch about this challenge. Remember, 30 days to breaking a habit.